When it comes to engagement, they're in trouble.
Yep, everybody can die, but ladies and gentlemen, on to the land of Dawn we go.
Game 5 here in this best of 5 in the upper bracket. We'll throw it over to our Bahasa counterparts, but for y'all watching all over the world, welcome. This is RRQ Hoshi versus Blacklist International, the last game in this, to be honest, grand finals worthy series.
And off the bat, you already see adjustments being made. Blacklist understands the danger, and they have 2 purifiers on their main carries on top of the Aegis. Already a very good solution. Will that be enough, though, knowing that there are 4 sources of crowd control from RRQ?
Another thing that I was like, Hibin may have taken a lot of damage, but here comes Clay at the same time. Not enough damage from the side of RRQ to kind of shut down the push. Blacklist International once again, oh my goodness, popping the Aegis way too early.
Now, talking about stats, right? Barat is the highest win rate with 100% in 5 games. So Blacklist has this major stat riding off of this game.
I mean, it's a very strong hero in the right situations. And right now, it does seem like later on, when it comes to that macro gameplay as well, they're going to be able to clear waves very fast with this composition. So I think Blacklist is onto something right here. It's on the shoulders of RRQ to try and surprise them yet again. But at this point, you have to wonder, have they done too much already?
Edward dashing all the way out just into safety right here. Albert will get scouted out by Oh My Venus right here. 30 seconds on the clock. It's a race to level 4.
Down bottom, you see that Wise has given Skylar a little visit, helping out Oheb. And again, this is an Avarice Claude. So every bit of basic attacks that Claude can get on anybody, actually, will help Oheb propel straight into that first 2 core items.
Well, we're still in the early game, and we can talk about the picks. We have to note that Clay can play a lot of aggressive heroes, but he is more well-known for playing the mages. You have to wonder if that becomes a factor as the turtle is spawning, and it looks like the play is being initiated by RRQ, but Blacklist ain't so far behind, trying to contest the control.
Contesting the control is the name of the game right here, but Clay does have the level 4 as well. It's going to be suppressed. Wise get denied by the ultimate. Wise will also lose the turtle for now. It's going to be ours. Ring and round. We're also looking for the pick up of the Blacklist International. At the same time, Wise will be the first to fall. It's going to be in. It's going to be just really for Edward. Edward desperately trying to run away. Haji doesn't have the defender. Airstrike can only use it now.
Oh, that was just off timing for Blacklist. All of the tools that RRQ needed just fell on their lap, and they capitalized on a good situation, turned it great. Took the turtle, took some kills along the way.
That was a bold move by Blacklist International, trying to contest such an early fight against such a dangerous composition coming in from RRQ.
Now, looking at the bottom lane, the island of the gold laners, at least in that disaster of an engagement for Blacklist, Oheb, you can still rely on him. You can still at least expect for him to do something, right? But when is that going to happen? How can you expect him to do that without the assistance of Haji, without the assistance of Oh My Venus? Because, again, with Albert skyrocketing into the lead this early, 3 minutes in, even Oheb, I feel like might not be too safe.
This is the dangerous part for Blacklist right now. All 3 lanes, essentially, are in favor of RRQ. They have more lane control, lane pressure, but Vin is getting jumped on.
Fred Airstrike going in at the same time, Vin looking a bit low. Oheb will be the one that finishes the job. It's going to be 1 kill given over to the side of Blacklist. Oh My Venus right here, just healing up Haji, and they're back to fighting shape again.
The road to recovery starts now. What do the items look like here for Blacklist?
Blacklist, Oheb landing down the damage, but would not be able to be enough, but that could be the precursor, and here comes the actual main damage, and here comes the main party. The flicker will be used, but Skyway will be able to get on without. But Blacklist, they're wasting a lot of time in the bottom lane.
Gotta be maximum range, right? Tactical repositioning plus the flicker. That's gotta go on TikTok someday.
That was smooth coming in from Skylar. He just slides out of that very dangerous situation. But right now, you can see that Clay is struggling, man. He wants to get these pickups, but with the Purifies, it's just a bit too difficult. They need to time this. They have to count the cooldown and ensure that they go in for the right target once the Purifies are down.
This feather airstrike's a little bit too early, right, guys?
Yeah, suspect, and it's going to allow RRQ Hoshi to time it up. But this might be because they see that Albert is still going for his purple, and this allows Wise to do the same for his orange, and then they reset. So far, this is good because Blacklist, they didn't expect RRQ Hoshi to pull so far. Turtle resets.
So resets, but look at the Blade of Despair being built by Skylar on that Beatrix. It's going to be a lot of 1v1 kill potential, but Haji has the Clock of Destiny already scaling towards that mid-game. And look at that.
Here comes the Divine Judgment. Wise will not be able to retrieve the turtle. Another turtle given over the side of RRQ once again. It is R7 going in a big play track and form, and that's the problem that Blacklist International couldn't solve.
Just as quickly, I could have sworn the Barats would have survived, but no.
Oh no.
They have lethal intent. OHEB is in trouble.
BMI already pulled out. Vin doesn't really have the divine judgment for now. That could be a side relief, but Clay doesn't have the ultimate, so that is still a-okay. But this time around, they may have actually obviously extended just a little bit too much. The better airstrike zoning out the members of RRQ as well. Blacklist International, the big problem right now is that Kaja ultimate.
It's just so difficult. There's a lot of sources of crowd control, and they can deal with that with the Purify. But if R7 or Albert just jumps on you, that's damage, not crowd control you have to worry about.
Wesker shot, Skylar walks away with 1 dot.
Ooh, that's, again, it's just unfortunate for Blacklist that their attempts at picking off, at countering the aggression of RRQ has not been paying off. And I don't know if it's bad luck or you can call it a good skill coming in, because RRQ are doing very well avoiding these tough situations, even though they do not have the defensive battle spell.
At the world stage, there's no room for luck, all right?
Yes.
Maybe a little, but it's more of because RRQ Hoshi are feeling it. They won game 4, they have momentum on their side, and they have a relatively significant goal lead.
Shot going in. Oh my goodness, just right in time. The ambulance right now is all about Vin, whether he can catch the right targets.
Oof. Man, Din Hunter Sword has been completed for OHEB. He has a steel leg plates as well, so for now, he has some measure of defense against the physical damage, but that's only until Albert scales and gets his hands on him. At that point, the escape is going to be very difficult, and the fact that Skylar is on that Beatrix means that RRQ can slowly but surely siege down these turrets.
How safely and how just cleanly RRQ Hoshi pressured that bottom lane, and that's permanent damage. OHEB now can't farm us safely down there, and all the more, this opens up this last turtle for RRQ Hoshi. It's 100% turtles for the King of Kings.
Problem is, Vin does have the ultimate as well. Wise needs to step on. He needs to try to eat that ultimate. There you go, Vin. Once again, Wise, Vin does not shy, but Wise will be able to heal up just in time. He's trying to look for the finger, but Retribution, Blacklist International take away the turtle, and this could be the turnaround for Blacklist.
R7 barely gets away with his life, but who'd have thought that Blacklist would have taken that turtle?
Yeah.
The mechanics, at least now, Wise is more confident that, hey, after a DJ, I'm okay.
Yeah, the biggest problem right here is that Blacklist International, hold on a second, slowing going on. Nothing's going to happen for now, but let me continue my point. Wise needs to eat the ultimate of Vin. No one else on the side of Blacklist could do anything at all.
I think earlier, Wise was actually dragged by the Divine Judgment.
Yes,
but
correct.
Unfortunately, the Breath of the Ocean from Clay does not land. And now, with Wise having the Radiant Armor, he is going to be a bit tanky until Clay has a bit more penetration to nuke him down. This might be the mid-game that Blacklist is looking for.
Yep, 8 minutes in, they shrank that gold lead. Approaching 3 now, it's just barely 1. OHEB jumps in.
Blazing Duet doesn't really stick. But there you go, Blacklist International managed to clear out the top side wave. What is going on around the map? It is the better airstrike going in. The Wesker shot will not be able to connect. It's a little bit too far. Blacklist International takes up top side.
That's clean zoning from Haji right here, knowing that he has a lot of damage in his arsenal. The Lightning Truncheon is not complete just yet, but even then, that needs to be respected by Skylar. He has the Wind of Nature at this point. But, you know, there's still that magic damage threat coming in from Oh My Venus and Haji. That is the main thing he has to be aware of in these big fights.
And now, again, with the past minute or so being all about regaining real estate for Blacks International, they can find better engages. This 1,000 gold lead for RRQ Hoshi, yes, it's significant, yes, it means something, but Blacklist can put up a better fight because, again, of the aforementioned pull!
I don't know whether this is a good idea coming out from Vin, but it's going to be Wise. Get a knock on the door, but he's getting healed by Oh My Venus, and then all of a sudden RRQ that's lost their roam. R7 a little bit too low, Clay coming in, trying to put some damage, but Blacklist International picked one person.
They threw no caution to the wind, and it resulted in Vin being taken down. Blacklist obliges, making a beeline straight for the Lord, and watch that green dot. Dennis Welcome still online.
They waste no time at all, man. RRQ, they might try and contest here, but it might be too difficult. Unfortunately, Blacklist will be able to secure that Lord, and RRQ, they just overestimate their damage, despite Wise just building full tank. They need to understand at what point is their damage adequate to grand pick off, especially the bigger members, especially with Oh My Venus on the sides.
I feel like Blacklist call right here. Wise is the carrot. Vin hooks the carrot, but this carrot is a little bit too big for RRQ's mouth, and they got hurt. Their jaw dislocated, and this is exactly what happened. It worked for the first 2 times, but the 4th time, it doesn't work anymore.
Looking at the items here, 10 minutes in, Arashi, talk to us.
Exactly. I mean, right now, the Blade Armor has been completed for Wise as well. He is getting tankier and tankier. And so far, if you look at the items from RRQ, penetration is not in sight just yet. This might be a mistake, but here we go. Blacklist just sieging, taking away structures with the help of the Lord.
Zoning away. That's the name of the game from the side of Blacklist International. But hold on a second, it's a 1v1. Petrify going in for the side of L1. Albert will be duking it off. The damage of Blade going in. It's gonna be a fight underneath the turret. It is a trade.
And all that time that Agent Zero bought for Blacklist, RRQ Hoshi are now reeling. They're looking at a map that's red, wondering where it all went wrong, because Blacklist has a 1K gold lead.
Oh no, Vin, take a moment, but he misses there now. Here comes the bad punishment coming up from Blacklist International. Better Airstrike will be able to zone RRQ away. Blacklist International stabilized for now.
Oh, they're going to steal this purple away from Albert, who hasn't even respawned yet. We're looking at a Lord in a minute and a half. Arashi, what's going on? What can we expect in the next minute and a half? Because this Lord, this next one is going to be significant.
We can expect RRQ to try and get a pickup yet again, but of course Blacklist, they adapt. You cannot expect the same thing to work again and again.
Yeah.
And right now, they have the solutions. A strong front line, they can tank most of the damage, sustain to back them up, and even if you want to go for the squishier members, like we mentioned, the Purify is there. So I think RRQ, they have to try and ration their crowd control. They cannot use it all at the same time, because if they do that, then it's easier for Blacklist to identify when they need to commit most of their resources. If they can spread it out a bit more, it's going to be a lot more difficult, and it goes back to that dirty, that messy fight that RRQ usually finds success in.
2 big questions, Leo. Has Haji and Noah used the Purify? Second question, why isn't Vin catching all my Venus?
I feel like, again, he was trying to do that with the flicker. Unfortunately, he was just barely out of range. Maybe the pressure is getting to him, you never know. But Albert, once again, is going on a duel with Agent Zero. They traded 1-for-1 earlier, but man, it's still beneficial for Edward in this situation, because Albert is level 15.
Arashi tried to answer it, but I was going to say, Jays, I don't have the answer. Blacklist does. At this point, they're in the driver's seat. They're camping here in this river bush, and I'm not sure if RRQ knows.
Man, RRQ does have the map control, brush control in fact, but it needs to be an ultimate coming up from R7. You need to sacrifice that. It's going to be Albert missing that purple buff once again. It's going to be a replay of game number 3.
Oh, this Ling is thirsty. This Ling is hungry. He needs that purple. He needs that perp.
It's unreal, man. Wise is able to steal so many resources, so many purples, but now this is the deciding moment. If RRQ can flank around, this might be the opportunity they're looking for, but otherwise, Blacklist has a chance to completely use this neutral objective and force RRQ into an unfavorable fight.
Oh my god.
Do they know? Do they know? All right, that's it. They revealed it. That's it. Yep, RRQ Hoshi. So they're just trying their best to get a reset here. But can they find it? Lord, less than half health. Oh, here comes Vin.
Here comes Vin as well. It's going to be the Equinox welcome. Will not be able to connect. Clay goes into Petrify, but it's going to be knocked up coming up the side. RRQ, the damage coming up. RRQ doesn't really click. It's going to be Albert. Not in the way. And Wise pick up Clay. And Albert still standing in the backside. But Oh My Goodness walks on in. He reveals the assassin. Skylar comes in and Nibiru doesn't make anything at all. It's going to be Oh My Goodness desperately trying to heal Wise. But Blacklist International, they traded for Clay.
The MPL ID Grand Finals MVP fell, and for no reason at all, it was free.
It is going to be the suppression on top of that one. The punishment. Now it's coming in for the re-engage, but Albert trying to look for something over here, but OM is creating so much trouble, and there's the wind of nature activated at the same time. Albert going in, trying to play with the blades, but he gets zoned out by the members of Blacklist International.
Oh, they baited out so much, but they instead traded out, and it's gonna cost them, but at least Blacklist walks away with the Lord Skylar. Skylar had lethal and malicious intentions, but Blacklist says no. 2K ahead, Luminous Lord on their side. What does this mean for RRQ Hoshi?
It means that they're stuck on the defensive and they cannot go for those big flanks. I was about to say that Blacklist are just so patient. They play that fight so slow, and RRQ just weren't able to adjust. But afterwards, RRQ were able to actually get something in exchange for that Lord, that's a small victory. But as we mentioned, having the Lord on top of a very solid front-to-back composition means that now you can force RRQ to go to locations that you want them to be, instead of RRQ being elusive, hiding in the bushes, surprising them with side flanks.
Yeah, now it's come to the point wherein even bush control isn't as important because you still have to think about those purifies. Now, Chase, Haji has his off of cooldown. Venus has an Aegis. Oheb is waiting about 15 seconds from here. So this Lord push might actually be lethal. They could take an inhibitor, or better yet, they might even threaten a finish.
RRQ does have 2 petrifies left. It's all about RRQ, how they play this out. The Panda Ezra will be able to zoning out. That's the Lord defended by RRQ. Blacklist International focus on the mid lane instead. Nibiru's Passion, wave clearing, that's all what RRQ can do for now. Locked in base.
Luckily, Clay has solid wave clear. And again, you're still looking at Skylar, despite the nerfs on Beatrix in the recent patch, they're doing okay. Arashi, what does the items look like? Oh, because the Agent Zero.
Oh my goodness,
gets
Vin
out.
misses the Flicker ultimate, allows Edward to slip on the way.
That is very unfortunate. At this point in time, that flicker is a very valuable tool, and Blacklist know that, tries to go for a big play, and the other problem here is Albert, but he's alone right now.
He's alone right here, Edward. Oh, Elvin needs to get on the way. There's a big dinosaur coming for your body as well, but it's going to be Blacklist International, manages zone out of members from the side of RRQ. Bottom lane is already gone.
Luckily, his body was ready. Baby Alien knows exactly what's going on, and he did not have to fall. I believe it's come to the point wherein RRQ knows they're playing with fire, knows that they have bombs in their fists, and they're waiting to land that big haymaker. Question is, how do they find that angle?
It's such a difficult situation because Blacklist have all their attention focused onto Vin, and it seems like RRQ, they're only relying on Vin to be the first initiate, whereas they actually have a lot of other tools they can use. They can go with Clay on the Kadira, they can go with R7 with a big flank and Petrify, but they're just not exploring that option, and it's making them seem just a bit too one-dimensional. And against a team like Blacklist, that just means that you are going to be so I don't know, readable, so obvious, and you can see that several times here, Vin has flickered twice and has not landed a pickoff.
Something tells me that's more a matter of conservation. The fact that Clay and R7 aren't being used as much to try to get a kill and get vision is because they're saving them, right? They're saving them, but so far, oh, not like this. This is a defensive Black Dragon form.
Defensive Black Dragon form. Haji activated the Feather Airstrike already right off early. Blacklist International know that Albert's all the way up top. Edward has full vision right here, but Blacklist International slowly collapsing once again. A purple buff gets denied away by Blacklist International.
Oh no, the baby alien's not gonna get his num-nums. This is a hard engage. This is tough. When you're playing a Ling this way, I mean, I've heard this from stories. I don't play Ling myself, but when it's like this and your opponents are just denying you your buff, oh, it's miserable.
Yep, once again, ladies and gentlemen, Blacklist International setting up for this Lord dance. It's about how has Lord Pit control.
It's easy for now. It's going to be Blacklist, and they're bursting down the Lord really fast. Vin makes a play.
Vin doesn't connect onto anything right now. OM going into blazing the way. It's going to be my Venus healing members of Blacklist International all the way to the top 4. OM will be punishing Vin.
A Lord that's evolved plus Vin. The M-Series All-Timer has been overloaded. Yes, he had momentum. Yes, he got MVP Game 4, but not against a lineup like this, not against Blacklist, who has figured out exactly what's going on.
RRQ need to adapt, man. They have to try and do things differently. Blacklist has a read on how they want to operate, and now with 15 seconds left on Vin, the Lord is coming in, and high ground favors Blacklist International.
Oh my god, this is a very tough airstrike to defend while Alvin forced to use the Temple of the Blades just to get on there. Here comes the Bandit Rage to try to clear off the members of the side of Blacklist International. He was orbiting the Nibiru's Passion as well. The Lord will get chonged down, but Blacklist International, they do a lot of damage. They crack open the mid lane. That's permanent damage.
That is a main artery taken away from RRQ Hoshi. Albert will not be able to explore the map as freely as he once has in this 19-minute bout. Now top lane inhibitor is going to be next up on the docket.
There we go. Oh, have petrified, but he was going to get purified. The counter battle spell. Here we go. R7 all the way in the back line, trying to look forward. Oh my goodness, desperately trying to heal. But look at where Albert's going. He's looking for the angle, but will not be able to commit. Blacklist International, they stay a long time.
There you go. If R7 can go in like that, you can see the cooldown on the Purifiers for Haji and Oheb are nearly identical because they have to use it at the same time. They are trying to group together for the blessings of the Moon Goddess, and that is something that RRQ can take advantage of, but they need to just plan it out really, really well, and without that vision, without the control, it's just so difficult right now. And Albert has full inventory slots at this point, so he won't be scaling any longer. At this point, it's all about how fast Blacklist can catch up to the 5K gold, can use that 5K gold lead, because RRQ soon, both teams are going to be full inventory slots.
Yep, we're about a minute away from this Lord. And again, this is a Lord that scales every minute from now on, 20. Plus, the fact that we are looking at TikTok timers. When someone falls, best believe that is lethal. If a member of viewers gets picked off, again, like Vin from the past 15, 18 minutes of this game, then no one comes back from that. So RRQ Hoshi has to be extra careful.
Concealed play, no flicker committed by Vin, that's good. But this is where RRQ has realized that R7 needs to face check every single rush. The best part about Oh My Venus on this Estes, right? Your second skill allow for that vision, right? So that you don't really need to commit. You saw it already being used in the I think it was the second or first Lord Dance, right? And it's really come to really good success.
Now, we're about 15 seconds away from this Lord. You see Blacks International playing for purple buff domination. Bombs away from Skylar. And this could be Albert's last chance. Oh, he's so hungry. He wants it. Can he get it?
The question is, but looking how RRQ members come out, the Petrify coming up from Edward will be there, but purple buff will still be successfully secured by
Oheb, I think.
Oheb.
Yeah, as long as it's not on Albert, Blacklist is happy. No num-nums for the baby alien. It's so hard to play Ling this way. I can't stress that enough.
Yep.
Now Haji has a Holy Crystal. That's a lot of damage. One bolt from the Fed Airstrike is able to chunk Skylar down to lower than half HP, but look at that snipe coming in. Unfortunately, with an Estes in the composition, Blacklist will be having no issues at all, but look at that play!
Oh, that is the suppression the Vin needs to try to play, but the Trucker going in, here comes the Blazing Duet. Don't fear for the defenders as well, as BMI will be allowing Oheb to time out. Albert will be able to pick up Haji for the time being. It's now up to the Dragon to pull down the damage to punish Blacklist International. Albert will be able to get out with the single down mix over health. Right now, Blacklist International have been developed into Oheb needs to run away. A scrappy fight from RRQ, but Blacklist International will be the one that got punished.
3 for 3, Clay and Skylar versus Oheb and Edward. This is as scrappy as it gets. RRQ Hoshi pulls out one from deep within. The Sangraja still in this battle.
It looks so good for them, and then it looks awful, and then it looks so good again, and at the end of everything, it's a 3-4-3 equal trade. But of course, let's take a look at that instant replay by TikTok. Look at that. Initiative Purifies has been used, and this is the opportunity. Look at Skylar just free hitting in the back. Unfortunately, he's unable to secure that kill, and Albert, he was stuck on the wall here trying to just kite away from damage, and Edward is able to cut him down, and now Blacklist once again are the ones pressuring for this Lord. They have mobility advantage.
Right now, the Lord dance, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what Blacklist is really good at. Right, RQ right now, they have to try to figure this out. Okay, get chunked down all the way, go to HP, and now Blacklist all of a sudden they do have the Lord. It is all up to how RRQ plays with it. Albert is that link, could be able to fly all the way to the Lord pit very quickly, but I think RRQ that lost the topside turret for now is going to be a rush, a mad rush to the Lord. Albert on the wall right here, they need to try to do something to drench him. Albert took down the Lord!
The baby alien secures it for RRQ Hoshi, but at the cost of Vin. Now it's a 4v5.
No.
Blacks International marching down mid lane.
It is going to be a replay of the previous game, number 3, once again. Even though RRQ was able to take down the Lord right now, it's going to be Blacklist International. They do have a lot of control. They do have a lot of damage, but they don't know welcoming R7 right into the tum-tum of the Rats, and now he will be punished. It is nice right now. He's got to get out of there. Oh my goodness, healing the members from the side of Blacklist International. 3v5 happening in the side of RRQ.
The relentless one has the favor turned
on
him.
They need to do it.
Take him down.
They need to do something as Blacklist International. They stay in the upper brackets.
Tennis indoor Sinayan can't believe it. Neither could we. But Blacklist International send the Sangraja down into the lower bracket.
A somber day in Tennis Indoor Sinayan. The audience is definitely disappointed, but of course, there is a victor and there is a loser in these tournaments. And unfortunately for RRQ, today, Blacklist International is the better team. Congratulations. for moving on to the upper bracket.
The M3 World Champions feel it. The agents in the stadium are the same. And boy, if you watch the last 5 minutes, you saw exactly how well RRQ Hoshi found their window. And even that Lord take by Baby Alien, by Albert, that was immaculate. But at the end of the day, messy as it was, Blacklist knew the way around the woods.
It's just so crazy, right, ladies and gents? RRQ, this is not over for them. You better be sure